Whenever I film one of these, all the makeup I'm currently project panning videos, I get so overwhelmed. I get really, really anxious and just overfaced. However, today I can fit everything that I'm panning in this little basket, which is this still a lot? Yes. However, it is much less than I usually have. And that is because I've started cutting down quite a lot on project panning and I'm really, really excited about it. I normally come on camera every few months with just a little bit of an update of everything that I'm panning, a little bit of an update on how they're doing, how I'm feeling about them. And normally it's like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to do all of this. But this is the first one where I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? This is okay, and that's what I want. That is what I've been chasing. If you've been on my channel over the past few weeks, you will know that I've been so overwhelmed and I've kind of lost the love of project panning, but seeing this in front of me makes me feel okay again, and I'm really, really happy about that. So, project panning, it's not back because it never left, but like, we're in a better space. But just before I do jump into this video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. If you are wondering about this makeup look, this was a full face of Troublemaker Cosmetics over on my TikTok, which is CAITLIN.COSTELLO. Oh, I am trying to be a little bit more active on there, so if you would like to support me, that would mean the world. But I do have a long form video, full face of Troublemaker, here on my channel as well, so if you wanted to see the products in action and you don't want to go to TikTok, I've got you covered, don't worry. I do also have a channel memberships, which means you get exclusive videos every single week. You get an exclusive group chat, exclusive polls, all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much if you do support me over there. And thank you so much if you are subscribed and are a regular viewer. All your support means the absolute world to me, but without further ado, let's jump into this. I'm actually excited to film this, which is so amazing and so refreshing. I'm going to go in the order that you do your face, so starting with foundation, ending with lipsticks. So let's talk about my Uodu foundation. This is in my Project 10 uses. This kind of catfished me a little bit. It kind of catfished me twice. And what I mean by that is I bought this and I really, really liked it. I do have a discount code with this. It is CAITLINC_official. I got this on C Beauty Mall. This was sent to me in PR, which I'm so grateful for. And I started using this and I really, really liked it. It was matte, but it wasn't like dry and cakey. I do have very dry skin, just FYI. And then for some reason I started using it and it just looked heavy. It looked thick, it was breaking up on my face, and I thought, no, I'm not going to use that anymore. But then recently I started using it again and it's absolutely fine. It's lovely. It's nice and smooth on my skin. It doesn't strip the moisture out. It doesn't look heavy. So I don't know what was going on over those few months where it just looked awful, but we've redeemed ourselves now. And I don't really know what is going on. But that is one of the reasons why I put it in 10 uses. I love Project 10 uses to just figure out what the hell's going on with some things. And I mean, it's redeemed itself. I really, really like this. I'm about 3 uses in because I only rolled it in last month, I'm pretty sure. So I'm happy with this. It's not as full coverage as I would like. I am having skin issues right now, so I'm a little bit self-conscious. But I mean, for a normal day where I'm not breaking out really badly, absolutely fine. Then the second foundation is my Essence Fresh and Fit. This is a little bit too dark for me. However, I don't know if I've just naturally tanned a little bit because I feel like all of the foundations that I usually wear are really, really pale. I don't know if you can see on camera, but I've had to bronze up this section of my cheek, which I don't normally do because I feel like I've just been looking really, really pale. But I don't know. Like, look at my hand. My hand looks so tanned compared to my face. So maybe I should try this on its own again, and maybe I should try it not mixed in with a lightening product because I don't know. Can skin just get naturally more tanned? Because I've not been out. It's not like a suntan. I don't know. This is also in a Project 10 uses. I've got a fair few uses on it, but I have been mixing it in with a lightener. So I think I am going to try it just on its own. If I hold it to my neck, it doesn't seem that bad. If I've just naturally got more tanned, that's going to be kind of weird. But I really like the coverage on this. I bought this for my full face of Essence, and I really do enjoy it. I did wish that I got a lighter shade, but maybe my skin is just like, hey, Caitlin, you know how you kept buying foundations that are too dark for you? Don't worry, girl. We'll sort it out. I don't know. My skin really does confuse me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the ride. So I'm officially project panning 1 concealer. However, I'm unofficially panning 2. Now let me talk about it. This is my NYX Pro Fix Stick. I'm trying to completely finish this in my rolling project pan. That is the only amount that we have left. I'm so excited because I know that by next update, this is going to be completely gone, and I'm so excited for that. This is a concealer that I use underneath my foundation every single day just to spot conceal, just to make sure I have a little bit of a blank slate before the foundation goes on. As I said before, I am experiencing a lot of breakouts right now. I used a foundation that was 4 years old on my face. I know. Don't do that. So this is definitely very, very handy. However, a lot of people say that they struggle to use it because it gets quite like peely. I would always recommend using this on a fresh, bare face and using your finger to blend it in, because otherwise it can get really dry and really like peely and cakey. I understand what you mean, but the way that I'm using it is the way that it works the best for me and my skin type. There's really not much left in here. I cannot wait to have this as an empty, because I don't think I will repurchase it, or maybe I will in a slightly deeper shade. This is very, very light. I bought this in my kind of under eye lightening shade. However, I realized that I don't actually like it like that anymore. So now when I do my spot concealing, and you guys may have seen it in my Get Ready With Me's, this is just really pale compared to the rest of my skin. So maybe I'll get the darker shade. I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. I do like it for spot concealing. It's something I'm going to have to think about though. And then unofficially, I'm trying to project pan my Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Now this, I'm not gonna lie, is pretty much done. I've taken the stopper out a while ago, but this isn't in an actual project pan. It's just something I'm trying to project pan on the side. And you know what? I don't really think there's that much more I can do with this, because, I mean, can you see the windowing on the side there? There is like no product left. But I'm going to use it for the next few weeks. I'm going to try and get as much product as humanly possible out of this, because you know what? I think that I can get a little bit more out of this. This is really, really pale. This is in the shade CO1, and I have noticed that when I use this, I look especially pale. I don't know if it is because my skin has just decided to get a little bit darker, and then because of that, this looks even paler than it did before, but I remember this working for me really, really well, so I don't know what is happening with my skin tone. I don't know. But definitely stay tuned for my end of the month empties videos, because this is definitely going to be in there as well. I have a feeling that this month is going to be really, really good for my empties, so stay tuned because I'm proud of myself. Okay, I have 2 powders, and they're very, very similar products actually. So let's start with my SheGlam Insta Ready powder. Now the loose powder at the bottom is completely done. I mean, there is the tiniest bit left that I can't get. However, I am trying to finish. I will be very careful because it's kind of crumbling. I'm trying to finish. Yep, there goes some powder. 3rd time lucky. I'm trying to finish this pressed powder side. There is barely anything left in here. And there was a little bit of an argument in, I think, my TikTok comments or my YouTube comments. I'm not too sure. And someone was like, girl, just get rid of that powder. Like, get rid of it. There's nothing left. And like, people were mad. People were like, no, there's still so much use in that powder left. Don't get rid of it. And I'm like, oh my God. I have noticed that as my channel has grown, there's been a little bit more fighting in my comments, which I find really funny. I don't know if I should find really funny, but personally, I like to just sit back and watch. But yeah, go keep fighting about it, guys. But I am going to keep using it until it is completely done. There is no point trying to finish a product and then like throwing it out a month before it's actually done. This may be an empty by the end of the month. I don't know, maybe not. There is still quite a lot left in here. This is a repress product, so I think maybe next month this will be done, which is going to be really, really exciting. Sorry, I've got really itchy ear. Oh, next is another Project 10 Uses little pull, and this is my Revolution IRL powder duo. Again, it's got that pressed side and then the loose side at the bottom. I've really started getting into pressed powder recently. I always used pressed powder to set my face, but I've started using pressed powder to set under my eyes as well. Normally, I would always use a loose powder for that, but I don't know, something shifted in me. I think because I've got such dry skin, I don't want to overwhelm my skin. And I found that if I use a loose powder under my eyes, I can just look a little bit reptilian. You know, the like scaliness that you can sometimes get. And I really don't like that look. I don't think anyone does, but you know what I mean. So I've started setting my under eyes with a pressed powder and I really enjoy how that looks. So I'm just playing around right now. That's something I love about makeup. You can think that you know how you like doing your makeup, and then something can just change and something can be a little bit different. And I really love that like evolution of things. I don't know. I think it's really fun, really cute. Now let's talk about bronzers. So I have two bronzers that I'm currently working on. I have my Nabla Skin Bronzing. This is in my Project 10 Uses as well. I put it in my 10 Uses because it's like a gelée formula and it's very, very different to what I'm used to. This is almost like a really, really hard cream. And so I wanted to put it in 10 Uses just to kind of learn how I actually like it and learn to use it. And I've learned that when I use a really dense brush, I really like how this looks. It's not like anything that I've used before, apart from like, think NARS. You know the NARS face palettes? Kind of like that, but even firmer. This is what this is like. I don't know why I'm giving you a review. Everyone's already tried this. This was like a staple a few years ago. I'm really, really happy with it. I really do enjoy this product. And I'm really glad that I put it in 10 Uses to be able to see how it works, see how I like it, all that kind of stuff. And it is definitely going to be staying in my end of year declutter series. That's why I love 10 Uses as well. All my chopping block products kind of went in my 10 Uses to see if I actually like them. And 10 Uses has been pulling its weight, let me tell you that for free. And the second bronzer that I'm working on, I'm actually trying to finish. I'm going to give you a quick whoop. That's what it looks like. That's my Pan That Face palette. So this year for Pan That Face palette, I've decided to work on single products instead of actual palettes, just because I figured out that all of my single cheap products were getting a bit neglected because of Pan That Face palette. So this is actually my Ofra format bronzer and it has been repackaged into this because the original packaging just fell apart on me and I was not dealing with that. So I've nearly finished this. This is so thin in this pan and I think I can have this done by the end of the year. I really, really hope so. All the products in my Pan That Face palette are so close to being done and I just don't know if they are going to be done by the end of the year. It's going to be so close. So definitely stay tuned for those updates because oh my goodness me, it's literally going to be within like a week's difference of if I finish it or if I don't. I think the bronzer has the best chance of being finished, but we will see. You'll have to stick around for that. Now let's talk about blushes. I do have 3 blushes, but I'm only trying to finish 1, so I'm happy about that. So first I'm going to talk about my newest purchase. This is my Beauty Bay blush duo in the shade Straw Bonbon. This is so vibrant and I'm in a little bit of a phase right now where I want to use products that are different. I always gravitate towards warm toned peaches and shades like that when it comes to blush. This is out of my comfort zone and that's what I want. I have about 40 peach blush shades in my collection. Like I don't need that. That's ridiculous. So I've started branching out a little bit and I'm really happy that I have because I have nothing like this and I really, really enjoy it. Would I wear this every single day? No. But the reason why it's in 10 Uses is to get to know it a little bit. Like I said, it's one of my newest, it is my newest product in my collection. And so I just want to get to know it a little bit. 10 Uses is not only great for chopping block products, it's also great for brand new products because you don't really know how you like it until you've used it a few times. That's why I kind of love and hate first impressions. I love trying new products and seeing how they work, but the amount of products I've given a good or a bad review and then completely changed my mind after using them a few times, and Project 10 Uses is great for that. So right now, I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I think I really like it, but I'm grateful for 10 uses because I get to use it a little bit more just to make sure. Another product in 10 uses is this. This is my Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush, and I think this is going to be decluttered at the end of the year. I go back and forth on this so many times because it is such a classic. However, for me and my makeup taste, I just don't think it works that great. I love a blush look. I am a blush blind girly and proud. This is a very subtle, everyday, natural blush. And I always find myself building this up about 50 times on the cheeks before I get a look that I actually enjoy and that I actually like. So like, I don't want to do that. As I said, I have so many blushes in my collection that why am I doing that for this? I think it's a great product. I think it's really, really lovely. However, I just don't think it's for me and my makeup taste. And again, if it wasn't for Project 10 uses, I wouldn't know that. So stay tuned for my end of year declutter in December because it is gonna be crazy. It is gonna be a massive declutter. I'm kind of struggling for room in my makeup drawers, and so through empties and through declutters, I gotta get some stuff out like ASAP. And then finally for blush, I have Milani Luminoso. This is in my Pan That Face palette this year. Face palette, you know, we've spoken about this. And again, I'm gonna give you tiny little, that's it. That's all you're getting. I am going to be filming this update sometime this week, so I don't really want to talk too much about it. However, again, similar to the bronzer, I don't know if this is going to be done by the end of the year. There is only the tiniest bit left, and the progress that I have made in this is truly incredible. I'm so proud of myself for nearly finishing a blush. However, I feel like the progress has stagnated a little bit. Is that the right word? It's kind of got stagnant. I'm working on it and I'm using it, but the pan isn't expanding for some reason. I'm hoping that that means in the next few months, the pan's just going to expand loads, but I don't know. I am a little bit worried about this. I want to have this done so badly, and I don't think it's going to take too much longer to finish. However, 3 months, is that going to be enough? I just don't know. I don't know. I hope so. But definitely stay tuned for my Pan That Face palette updates to know all the goss about that. Right, let's talk about highlighters. Technically, I have 3, but one of them I use as an eyeshadow topper. So I'm just going to talk about true highlighters now. First is the Pastel Roses Moon Dust highlighter. This is in my Project 10 uses, and it's in 10 uses because I used to not like this, and I actually really, really like it now. It is a very thick formula, so use the teeny tiniest amount, and that is where I was going wrong with this. I was loading my brush up and whacking it on my cheeks and then going, oh my god, there's so much product, like it's too much, it's too thick. Yeah, because I was using too much. If you use a tiny amount, this looks amazing, and you can get 20% off all the Pastel Roses with code CAITLIN20, not affiliated. I don't earn money from that. That is just for you guys. They do like really crazy, beautiful duochrome eyeshadows as well. You guys know if you're regulars, I love this brand so much. So I'm kind of halfway through my 10 uses on this roundabout, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm so glad that I gave it another chance. I'm so glad I tried it again. Like I was saying about first impressions, they can be a little bit misleading sometimes, and so I'm really, really happy about that. And then my highlight in my Pan That Face palette, this is not original to this packaging. This is a Zoeva highlight that I was actually trying to finish last year. Long story short, I was working on my Ofra Glazed Donut this year. I realized I'm not going to get that done by the end of the year, so I decided to roll in a highlighter that was nearly done anyway to hopefully have one highlight empty. And again, I'm going to give you a quick boop. That's all that's left. That is all that is left. Maybe I can have this finished by the end of the year. Again, this is going to be so tight. It is going to be, oh, like if I have it finished, it's going to be like December 25th or something. It's going to be so close to the end of the year. And if I don't get it finished, it's going to be going to like mid-January. It's just going to be so close, and I'm going to try my best to use my Pan That Face palette products as much as humanly possible over the next few months because I want them done. The whole point of Pan That Face palette is to try and finish the products in a year, and I'm so close on all 3 of them. There is nothing in that project that is like, for sure that'll be done. I just don't know. It's like keeping me on tenterhooks and I don't like it. I don't like it. But anyway, let's move on to Pan That Palette. So my Pan That Palette update is going live the day I'm filming this. So I don't really mind showing you the palette because there has literally just been an update. This is what it looks like. I've been working on this all year. Yes, all year. And I'm happy with it. I've gone through the motions with this palette. I really, really have. I've gone from being really proud of my progress to absolutely hating it, to absolutely loving it, to just all over the place. However, I need to remember that these are Colourpop mattes. Colourpop mattes are so difficult, not only to hit pan on, but to finish. Borderline impossible. I've used this shade down here over 200 times, and I've used this shade up here over 100 times, like nearly 200 times. I think it's in the 190s or something. So just that alone, any other eyeshadow formula would have been done months ago. And so I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm trying to be kind to myself. You know what? I'm playing on impossible mode this year, but look at the progress that I've made. I only have 2 shades without pan, which are these 2 shades. And so I'm really, really happy with it. This is my brow shade every single day. This is my lid setting shade every single day. I'm gonna try and have Snake Eyes finished by the end of the year. I don't know if I can do that. It is a shimmer shade and it's really, really shallow. Like the dip is like a lot. I don't know how else to describe it. This is the shade that I have the most chance of finishing, but still, I don't know. I'm trying my absolute hardest, but we will see. We will see. I originally thought that I'd have loads of these shades done, and I think accepting that that's not going to happen through no fault of my own, it's through the fault of Colourpop and their pressing machine. I've given this a damn good go, and I'm really, really proud of the progress that I've made, and that's the most important part. I'm really happy with this. I really am. I have my down days with it. I really do. But you know what? We're doing good. I finished 1 shade in here. That's amazing. So I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm good. We did good. Then I have 2 eyeshadow topper kind of products. So the first one is technically a highlighter, but this is way too glittery and like just intense to be a highlighter. This is from Odin's Eye. It's the Moon Tears highlighter. This is it's an eyeshadow topper. How is that a highlighter? Like, look how crazy that is. I do use this with That's Taupe a lot because, I mean, look at the shade. It's like a vibrant, glittery, taupey, beautiful shade. And so I've really been enjoying it with that. It's given me something different to use with the Pan That palette, the That's Taupe, and so it's fun. It's fun, it's fresh. I use these on my dating events a lot, just to, like, you know, have a bit of a glittery finish. I really, really do enjoy them, and yeah, I'm happy with them. I like them. This has been a little bit of a learning curve as well, because I originally was using them as highlighters, and that it's just too much for me. I like more of a smooth highlight, or even a highlight with glitter, but like very, very small glitters. This is an indie eyeshadow. And so having used them as eyeshadows now, I appreciate them a lot more. And would I have known that without Project 10 uses? Who knows? But I'm glad that it is in Project 10 uses. And then the second eyeshadow topper shade is Colourpop Ice Dream. I was going to say I'm really close to finishing this. That's a lie. I'm not really close to finishing this. However, I've got a massive pan in it. I don't know if this is going to be decluttered at the end of the year because it's starting to get a little bit dry. And I have used Inglot Duraline with it, but I don't know, it's just getting a little bit... Can you even see it there? It's right. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I don't know. I've worked really hard on it and I'm so proud of the progress that I've made, and it looks so pretty. It's definitely one of my favorite shades. Am I going to be able to like finish it though before it completely dries out? I'm not too sure. I'm working really hard on it. I'm trying my absolute best. I do use this as a highlight topper every now and then when I do kind of blue or purpley looks, because it goes really, really well with that. I'm trying. I'm chipping away at it. This was a little bit of a worrisome shade when I rolled it into my rolling project pan, because I have said for so long, if I ever roll an eyeshadow into my rolling project pan, tell me off and you guys definitely did that. You guys made your voices known on that, but I think it's a good idea because I'm still really liking it. And I'm using it as a highlighter as well, so it's not just an eyeshadow. Something that I wasn't going to talk about, but you know what? Why not? These are my Pastel Roses glitter shades, plus a nice hair that's in there. That's lovely. I'm doing a new series over on my TikTok and also my YouTube shorts where I cover my eyes with my eye mask so I can't see anything, randomly selecting one of these beautiful glitter shades and making a look around that shade. So if that sounds like a good time, stay tuned. I've got over 30 the Pastel Roses glitters and they do get a little bit neglected. So this isn't really a project pan, it's kind of more of a challenge, but I want to use every single one of my Pastel Roses glitters because I love them so much, but I do feel like they get a little bit neglected. I think it's because I most of the time do my eyes after my base. I want to try and get in the habit of doing my eyes first, but when I've got my eyeshadow on, these have such bad fallout that I just kind of get scared. So I don't know. I've only done one episode of the series so far. I'm calling it the Great Glitter Gamble, but I don't want that to be triggering to some people. But also I think it sounds kind of cool. Like it's not gambling, is it really? But I don't know, let me know some thoughts down below about the name. I'm still going back and forth on the name. I'm not really sure, but the Great Glitter Gamble just sounds like kind of cool. I don't know. I thought of that myself. Okay, this is in a Project 10 uses. I think these are going to be decluttered at the end of the year. I have 3 of these. These are the Mitchell Make a Mark eyeliners. They're felt tip liners that just run out. Like, I'm sorry. They run out after 2.5 seconds on the eyes and I'm getting fed up with them. This was in a 10 uses because, again, I want to... Stan agrees. I want to use them and get to know them and see, are they really that bad? Yes, they are. Yes, Caitlin, they are. So I think these are going to go. I think I'm going to try and replace them with a nicer formula. I really, really enjoy brush tip applicators instead of these felt tip ones because they don't really get dried up that quick. So I'm going to try and find some really good brush tip applicator eyeliners. If you know any, please let me know down below. I need some help. And then that just leaves us with lipsticks. So let's start with, oh, I'm throwing things. Let's start with my Colourpop lippy sticks first of all. So Brink, she's nearly done. That is all we have left of Brink. This is in my rolling project pan. It's got some lovely hairs on it. I don't know whose hairs they are. They're like short hairs, but they're white. So they're not Stans. This is it. This is all that is left of this lipstick. And I'm so excited because I know this is going to be done this month. Like I said earlier in the video, the empties this month are going to be crazy. So stay tuned. Like, this is it. I'm so excited. It's a really nice off, like, muted red. I really don't like red lipstick. I think it just makes me look like a clown. Like, I don't like it on myself. This is a really nice neutral wearable red, which I'm really, really excited for. This flies by. You only have to use this a few times and it is like gone. So I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really happy. And yeah, hopefully I can have this done within the next month. Now, this next Colourpop Lippy Sticks was voted in by you guys. This is the shade Oh Snap. I can't actually roll this up anymore because I tried to roll it up to take progress pictures in my rolling project pan. Because it's so mushy, it kind of snapped, but not snapped because it's too mushy to snap. It kind of like did that. And now I'm scared to roll it up. So we're just going off vibes for this. But this is a very cool toned pinky nude lip. And I'm really excited to get some use on it because it'll go really well with the cool tones in my Pan That palette as well. So hopefully I can have 2 more lippy sticks done by the end of the year. That would be amazing if I could do that. I'm not sure. It's going to be a little bit tight, but we will see. Next, a product that I'm trying to completely finish is my NYX Butter Gloss. I have removed the stopper from this, but there is so much product left in here. I am actually shocked at the amount of product that is still in here because I was scraping this when the stopper was still on. And then as soon as the stopper was gone, everything came out again. It's kind of overwhelming. But you know what? I'm trying my best. It is in my rolling project pan. I don't know if I'll have this finished by the end of the year. It's going to be a really, really close call. but we will see. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be done by the end of the year just because of how much product is left in here. Surprise! You take the stopper out and suddenly you're drowning in lip gloss. And then speaking of lip gloss, I have an Odin's Eye lip gloss. This is the shade Snuggle from the Morgan Turner Love Language collection. And this is just in 10 uses. And it was because I wasn't really sure how I felt about this. This can get a little bit milky on the lips if you just use it on its own. It's got a little bit of like a yellowy gold reflect to it. However, I found that if I use it, especially with Brink, which is more of a red, it works really, really nicely. The red kind of tones down the milkiness and leaves a really nice yellow glittery shine, which is really, really nice. I do enjoy that. So I'm glad that this has been in Project 10 uses because I've actually understood how I feel about it, which is the goal. That's what I want for Project 10 uses. So even though I've been filming for a really, really long time, I feel like this is a much better project panning category, collection. I feel like if I hadn't have cut back on a few projects, I'd still be going for another half an hour. Like, these videos are always really overwhelming for me, but I feel like finally I've got to a point where I'm okay. I am going to be cutting back Project 10 uses from 10 products to 5 products next year, and I'm also going to be cutting 1 product out of my rolling project pan, going from 6 to 5. So I will have an extra 6 products out of project panning next year, which I think is going to be even better. I'm kind of juggling between loving project panning and panning a bunch of things and getting good progress, but also enjoying my collection and feeling like I am free to actually use the things that I own. I've been almost shackled to project panning, I feel like, and next year is where it changes. I've said before, project panning is like up here, and reviews and get ready with me's and everything else is down here. And I want to just bridge that gap a little bit. I just want to make things a little bit more enjoyable for me and hopefully more enjoyable for you, because less project pans means more progress in the projects that I do keep. So I hope you understand. Everyone has been so supportive of this decision, and I thank you all so much for that. So this is it. This is where I'm going to love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I am actually going to be bringing in a eyeshadow project soon, but it's going to be a little bit more chill. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm so excited. But yeah, you're going to have to stay tuned because I'm really, really excited for that. But yeah, this is where I'm going to go. Have a great day. Like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye-bye.